Yeah. I think it's been off the whole time.
I didn't off that though. I don't know. It's off.
This is the level looks kind of odd.
Just make it off. It's very loud. It's loud. The level.
Huh? How do I do that?
Go drag this side.
This one?
So please be seated and let
Oh,
your
this.
crowd. We invite you to come forward for our time. Let me say that
Okay, I
John
need to get
Ludwig,
this.
our associate pastor, is getting a well-deserved break. But we are fortunate to have the Reverend Eileen Parker
Should be around 25 dB.
Okay, sorry. I want to see that.
I don't know. I just said, I'm wearing white today. What are you wearing? He said, I'm wearing white also. How many of you children have been greeting people with Happy New Year today? You've been saying Happy New Year? Yes, because it is Happy New Year. New Year is a way of telling time. And so, Pastor Scott said I could come today and talk about telling time and how the church tells time. Do you guys know what this is? This is the clock, right? What's missing from the clock? The hands are missing. So when you have a clock and it's telling time, the hands move around the clock. And the reason we have 12 is because there are actually 24 hours in a day. What is 2 times 12? 24, exactly. So rather than having 24 numbers on here, we just start 12 o'clock midnight, and we go all the way around to 12 noon, we go all the way around, and we come back to 12 midnight again. That's why it's in a circle, because time keeps moving in a circle. So this is a clock that tells us that there are 24 hours in a day. Now, the reason we have that worked out is because we're telling time based on a calendar that's based on the sun. There are 12 months in the year. You notice that there's a lot of similarity between these two, except instead of numbers, on this one we have the days, we have names of the months. So here we are in January, we're the very first day of January, goes all the way through the months of the year. Now, if I wanted to talk about special days in here, I could say, let me see, well, February I know is Groundhog's Day. And April is my birthday, and May is the opening of fishing season. And June is the end of school, and July is the big parade in Moose Lake for the 4th of July. And then August is the county fair, and September is, you get the point, you know that special things happen there. November is Thanksgiving. Okay, so again, I put this in a circle because we just no sooner get done with moving all the way through there, starting in January, we come to December, and December gets done, and we move right into January. So it's moving in a circle. It's like time is not stopping. So we're telling time based on the sun, but there are cultures in the world where they tell time by the moon. So the moon shapes the way we look at the months. And that is one of the ways that the church tells time. Now here we are. I put the hands on this one. We are right here. Does this look like a calendar that you can make sense of? No. Because the church has time. The church tells time based on colors, like white. It tells time based on colors and on stories. And the colors remind us of the stories. Now, what was the biggest story that you heard recently? The biggest church story you heard recently? Do you remember what that is? Let me think. Something about a baby. What was that? Do you remember anything about a baby being born? What baby would that be? Jesus, that's it! What do we call that day? We call that day Christmas. So Christmas is the color white. Now, This is a little bit wide, and this is a little bit skinny, and these are bigger. And that says the relative amount of time that passes. What, Eileen? What? Well, Christmas is actually, it starts on December 25th, and it goes for 12 days after that to Epiphany, and then after Epiphany is the baptism of the Lord. And so all of those stories that we tell about Christmas and Christmas time are colored white. And then we move into a green part of the year, and then we move into a blue part of the year. Then we move into a white part, and then a green part, and a blue part. Oh, thank you very much. The red, there is only 1 week of red. Only 1 week of red. Well, maybe we better wonder why there's that red one. That is Pentecost. That is the birthday of the church. And there's just 1 week for the red, but it's preceded by white. The white is Easter. Easter is so big and so important. It's not just 1 day or 12 days like Christmas. It is 7 weeks. Easter is so important, it takes 7 whole weeks to say Easter. And then it comes to red for Pentecost. But we need to get ready for Easter, and so that's the blue of Lent. And then the blue of Advent, getting ready for Christmas. So then the green ones, what are all these green ones? This is called ordinary time. Now, a lot of the grown-ups laughed. They thought ordinary meant regular. Ordinary stands for ordinand, numbered. Ordinand is an old way of saying numbers. So these are numbered weeks, whereas these have a whole name. Lent, Advent, Lent, Christmas, Easter, Pentecost, ordinary time. Now, here's the tricky part. This one changes. Sometimes it's skinny like this, sometimes it's almost as big as this one. And why is that? Because Easter, we tell time for Easter not based on the sun, like we do Christmas. It's based on the moon. Easter comes at a different day all the time. Sometimes it can be as early as March 22nd, 29th, something like that. And it can be as late as April 25th. What in the world? Who invented that? Right? It's because, get ready for this, you guys, if you can remember this, you will win the prize at parties for the rest of your life. How do we tell when Easter's coming? It's the first Sunday after the first full moon after the vernal equinox. What? After it turns spring, that's the vernal equinox. After it turns into spring, the first time there's a full moon, the Sunday after that is Easter. And that's where we get to this white. And the reason we get to the white, which moves at different times, but the blue is always 40 days plus Sundays. So it's really 49 days. This is always just before Easter by 49 days. And this green changes all the time. Now, why in the world is that important? Do you know why? We sang a song just now about that. We sing a song of Bethlehem, and then sing a song of Nazareth, and sing a song of Galilee, and sing a song of Calvary. What is that about? That's telling the whole story about that baby that grew up. So this whole thing here is that song that we sang. So at Easter or at Christmas, we tell stories of the baby being born and the wise men visiting him and that baby getting baptized as a grown-up. And then we tell stories about how that baby began to learn about his call to be who he was. And then here we learn about our call to be like that baby when we grow up. And we learn about Easter here and what the meaning of Easter is. And then here's the happy birthday of the church. And then here's the whole rest of the stories that we tell to get us ready so that we can go back to looking forward to that baby coming. And so, you know, on the clock, We start out with 12 at the top, and it never moves around. Clocks always are like this. That's the beginning of a clock day. I am going to move this so that we have the beginning of the church calendar, the beginning of the church year, right at the top. We're already partway into the church year. The church year starts at Advent. It starts by us getting ready for that baby to come. Wow, you guys. All of that about just a circle with colors on it? What is that about?
I used to think it was just a big combination pizza.
No, Pastor Scott is always thinking about food, isn't he? That's so cute, isn't it? What this is, oh, am I not supposed to say that at church?
Said like a wife.
Probably not. Okay, what all of this is telling us. I'm about to put together. What this is all telling us, you guys, he knows this. He's going to be really happy that I pulled this together. All of these colors are to remind us that God is part of our time. God is with us in time. God is always with us in time. Whether we tell time like this, or like this, or like this. So let's pray. And it's a repeat after me prayer. So I say something and then you guys repeat after me. And the grown-ups will help us out, all right? Dear God, thank you for time. Thank you, you are part of time. Thank you, you are part of our time. And all God's people say, Amen. Thank you very much, children. You were wonderful. Someone was a little naughty. He was a little naughty. Maybe. We have to go for the children's time. I'm going to leave these here, kids. So if you want to look at these later, these are not as interesting as trains. Honest.
Okay. So this one works fine. So what I'll do is when we have the singing next time, I'll just use this one. I'll zoom over to the middle so you can
The
see
Greek
Stephen.
Testament reading is from the 2nd chapter of Matthew.
It'll work for today.
Now after they had left, an angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream and said, "Get up, take the child and his mother and flee to Egypt and remain there until I tell you. For Herod is about to search for the child to destroy him." Then Joseph got up, took the child and his mother by night, and went to Egypt and remained there until the death of Herod. This was to fulfill what had been spoken by the Lord through the prophet, "Out of Egypt I have called my son." When Herod saw that he had been tricked by the Magi, he was infuriated, and he sent and killed all the children in and around Bethlehem who were 2 years old or under, according to the time that he had learned from the Magi. Then what had been spoken through the prophet Jeremiah was fulfilled. A voice was heard in Ramah, wailing and loud lamentation, Rachel weeping for her children. She refused to be consoled because they are no more. When Herod died, an angel of the Lord suddenly appeared in a dream to Joseph in Egypt and said, "Get up, take the child and his mother and go to the land of Israel, for those who were seeking the child's life are dead." Then Joseph got up, took the child and his mother, and went to the land of Israel. But when he heard that Archelaus was ruling in Judea in place of his father Herod, he was afraid to go there. And after being warned in a dream, he went away to the district of Galilee. There he made his home in a town called Nazareth, so that what had been spoken through the prophets might be fulfilled. He will be called a Nazarene. And then from Langston Hughes. Hold fast to dreams. For if dreams die, life is a broken-winged bird that cannot fly.
This morning I'm going to play a piece called the Lord's Prayer, and I do it in memory of those that have left us this last year, those that have just left us hours ago, those that left us 6 years ago. That's my mom. She's the one that drug me to piano lessons every week with Mrs. Roberta on Fridays after school. And so I give this in tribute and in memory to my mom and my parents, my dad.
Do you hear like a hissing sound?
It's not that. Something else. Yeah, something else. In the iPhone. I'll put it down.
Okay.
Or is it this?
Sounds like it's from here. It's alright. It's not on the recording. That's all right.
No, it's not. Yeah,
Okay.
still.
Thank you, Michael. Dear God, bless all our memories at this time and this time of year that is thick with them. May our minds find healing as we consider your stories and the freshness of these new days. Amen. So Eileen gave us an organic sense of the church year, and I would like to give us kind of an organic sense of the Christmas story by sharing with you this dark part of the Christmas story for sure, in order to connect this part of Herod and all that to the rest of the story in a meaningful way. Allow me to begin right here by picking up the story where we left off a week ago Saturday night on Christmas Eve. And trust me here, I think you'll soon understand of how it fits with the rest of the story. In some sense, this is a tale of two cities. Well, one city and a small town. Jerusalem and the little town of Bethlehem. So consider, if on Christmas night the shepherds had wanted to, they could have made it to Jerusalem by morning following the birth of Jesus. It's only 6 miles from little Bethlehem to the city. And once there, they would have seen the temple standing white and bright like a mountain covered with snow. It would have looked to be on fire because of the burnished gold atop the columns of the sanctuary that would have picked up the morning light. Not long after dawn, business at the temple would be in full swing, which was a huge deal. I mean, the whole thing covered 25 acres. The court of the Gentiles would be loud. Lots of people from all over would have been crowded in there. They accepted almost anyone, including shepherds, but excluded those considered to be lepers, victims of venereal disease, and others considered unclean. But how they could tell who was who, I have no idea. Anyway, in the shadow of 27-foot columns, anyone could buy doves or pigeons suitable for making casual offerings. Those in charge of changing money there would have been busy serving Jews who'd arrived from Egypt or as far away as Babylon, those who were carrying foreign currency. You would have heard many different dialects of Greek and Aramaic spoken. Add to that the sound of cattle and sheep awaiting slaughter, not too different from the sounds of the Bethlehem stable. Just climb 14 more semicircular steps and you'd find the court of the women, where Jesus' parents would soon bring a baby for blessing. Not even the most saintly of women, though, would be allowed to enter the next level of sanctity, the court of men. There you are. Those allowed in there were dwarfed by 50-foot Corinthian columns. And from this place, Jewish men could watch the activities in the court of the priests. Lambs were butchered there twice a day on a huge altar. This was the place where it was believed that Abraham had prepared to sacrifice his son Isaac, but instead sacrificed a lamb. In Jesus' day, the blood there drained into a sophisticated plumbing system, complete with running water so no trace of blood would be left. Behind the altar stood the great white sanctuary with even higher pillars yet, and a huge cypress door adorned with an incredible Babylonian tapestry made of blue, red, purple, and flaxen-colored cloth. The temple was the crowning achievement of the 33-year reign of King Herod, called Herod the Great. He was born in the northernmost province of Idumea of a family that had only been Jewish for 2 generations. For this reason, he was not trusted by the Jewish populace, who saw him for what he was, a pawn of imperial Rome. Herod's desire was to drag these tradition-bound Jews into a modern cosmopolitan world. Thus, the introduction of the Babylonian tapestry and the Greek columns and the countless Roman marble stairs. Now, what are all these Gentile touches in a Jewish temple? Well, everyone but the most conservative Jews overlooked them. Everything except for one decoration. one only. Over the gate of the court of the Gentiles stood an eagle, which was the central symbol of Roman might. Now, Herod did his best to remind the conservatives that the eagle is a symbol dear to Jews as well. Remember on eagle's wings? But no one bought that. They knew what it was. Somewhere around the time of Jesus' birth, two young Pharisees named Matthias and Judah were incensed by this eagle. And so along with 40 other studious, idealistic Jews, they hoisted ropes and pulled the eagle down, shattering it on the marble below. Well, Herod threw the lot of them in prison with the following advisory. He was sick, and believing he was dying, he left strict orders that at the moment of his death, all those would be executed. In this way, he thought to ensure that the city would be thrown into mourning and no one would be able to say the wailing wasn't maybe for Herod himself. Pathetic, huh? Now, while Herod's eagle was coming down, tradition says that another symbol, a great star, was being raised ever so silently 12 miles away over Bethlehem. So think about it. Herod the Great is dying. He had killed one wife and 3 of his sons out of paranoia. And now close to death, he's still paranoid about who might unseat him. Sounds like Vladimir Putin, who rumor says, right, is ill with a serious form of blood cancer, and still apparently busies himself daily with ordering his critics to be thrown out of hotel windows all over the world. It's an old story. Matthew claims Herod the king even fears a little baby born in a little 2-bit Bethlehem. Some would eventually call that baby king of the Jews. But he would be an odd king, right? I mean, not very royal. He would grow up to say things like, "Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth." No Roman would say that, huh? Yes, and take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke, unlike Rome's yoke, is easy, and my burden is light. St. Francis de Sales, who understood the heart of Jesus like few others, is remembered to have said, we began with this, remember, nothing is as strong as real gentleness. Nothing is as gentle as real strength. That is the new dispensation, ushered in by that star going up. And I wonder if old dying Herod, sitting in Jerusalem, knew that an era was beginning to fade. He'd soon fall. And Rome too, okay, it would still take several hundred years for Rome to fall, but that was coming. And some could smell it in the air. Remember the news video we all saw from China years ago during the Tiananmen Square uprising? That idealistic young man, we never learned his name, did we? Armed with nothing more deadly than a shopping bag, standing in front of a line of tanks. Talk about real strength. China's leadership since then has done everything they could to obliterate that image from its people's memory. But I tell you, any government that doesn't recognize the moral muscle behind that kind of defiance is coming down eventually. That's the message of Jesus' cross. That's what gathers us here today. History tells us that a meter is running on Rome's kind of programmed injustice, and all injustice like it everywhere. In the story then that we heard read by Julie this morning, King Herod threatened by talk of a new king, orders the killing of all the boy babies around the little town that's just beyond the suburbs of Jerusalem. And in the story we heard, down through the ages, innumerable kings and dictators have ordered the massacre of children too. Something completely out of sync with, "O little town of Bethlehem, how still we see thee lie." Still in death, maybe. Well, Matthew's Christmas pageant ends not with angels proclaiming goodwill, but these lines that Matthew borrows from the prophet Jeremiah. Remember this tucked into the story. "A voice is heard in Ramah, Rachel weeping for her children and refusing to be comforted because they are no more." Matthew's idea is this: Herod was no fool. He had been in power long enough to be able to tell a rival when he saw one. What poor shepherds saw as an innocent baby, Herod knew as a threat to everything on which his kingdom was based. So Herod, as Matthew depicts him, joins all the other leaders of our age: Hitler, Pol Pot, Stalin, Mao, Milosevic, Putin, all men who don't mind a little murder in order to silence those courageous enough to speak truth to their power. I mean, look, the powerful are always wanting to silence the brave, who will expose them for who they really are. And you know, it's not an accident that in Hans Christian Andersen's story of the Emperor's New Clothes, it's a child, remember, who says what all the adults are afraid to say, that the Emperor, for all his greatness, is naked. Remember the child who was specifically targeted in Pakistan, Malala Yousafzai? Remember Malala? Targeted for pointing out the moral nakedness of the misogyny of the leaders of her country. She once said, you know, she said, "I don't want to be thought of as the girl who was shot by the Taliban. I want to be known as the girl who fought for education. This is the cause to which I want to devote my life," she said. Shortly after that, she was on The Daily Show with Jon Stewart. And he asked her how she could go on speaking out on behalf of children, girl children especially, after being shot by a member of the Taliban, knowing that she could easily be shot again and this time die. And here's what she said. She said, "I used to think that the Talib would come and he would just kill me. But then I said, if he comes, what would you do, Malala? And then I would reply to myself, Malala, just take a shoe and hit him. But then I said, if you hit a Talib with your shoe, then there would be no difference between you and the Talib. You must not treat others with cruelty. You must fight others through peace and through dialogue and through education." Then I said, "I will tell him how important education is, and that I even want education for your children as well. And I will tell him that's what I want to tell you. Now do what you want." And then she went a bit further. She said, "We realize the importance of our voices only when we are silenced." That is the answer to all the Talibs and Putins and Herods in the world. Remember St. Francis de Sales? Nothing is as strong as real gentleness. Nothing is as gentle as real strength. Our country doesn't understand that. We've been through a period where we've gotten that totally backwards, but it is the message of Christ, and it will not be silenced. Shortly after Malala was shot, 5 million Pakistani men, women, and children signed petitions calling for every girl in Pakistan to have the chance to go to school. 5 million. And the same thing is beginning to happen in Iran now. The meter is running on the abusive Islamic Republic, which is heaping abuse on its women and children too. Here is just a little bit of news from there, from just Thursday, just a couple of days ago. It takes a special kind of coward, the news piece said, to kill a child and then steal the body. To execute someone and only tell their family afterward. To shoot at people chanting the word freedom and shut off the internet in hopes that no one will find out. In the last 3 months, the Islamic Republic of Iran has done all this and more. If you were born a girl from the age of 9, you must wear a headscarf everywhere you go. You cannot dance in public. And if you are a woman, you cannot sing either. You cannot hang out with anyone of the opposite gender who you are not directly related to. And under Islamic law, there are only 2 genders. Same-sex relationships are illegal. And leaders pretend that gay people do not exist. But still, the leadership there continues to act with impunity, as if their acts were sanctioned by God. Well, you know, Herod and his henchmen thought they had it all taken care of too. How wrong, how incredibly wrong they were. Tradition says that Joseph, Jesus' dad, remember, at an angel's instruction, hunkered down in Egypt until word came again from the same angel that Herod was dead. The eagle was coming down. The star was on the rise. Well, other eagles, even in this country, are beginning to fall. They are being exposed daily now for the phonies they are and always have been. The truth has taken a lot of hits in the past few years. We all know this. But the last 6 months has exposed a lot of that to the light. So, remember the words of Mahatma Gandhi. They may not be 100% right, but they're close enough. They give me hope, and I want hope in a new year, don't you? Let me close with them. Gandhi said, "When I despair, I remember that all through history, the way of truth and love has always won. There have been tyrants and murderers, and for a time they can seem invincible. But in the end, they always fall. Think of it," he said. Always. Amen.
Please stand if you are able and join us in our responsive hymn. And that goes for the Zoom folks too. Jesus
Jesus crosses borders with the wandering foe, searching for a refuge, for an open door. Do our words and actions answer Jesus' plea? Give the lowly welcome, and you welcome me.
Please be seated.
Little hymn gems tucked in that big hymnal of ours. You know, once I did a funeral in Salt Lake City, and the prophet of the Mormon Church came because he was friends with the lady who died, and you know, this is like hope, you know, it's a big deal. And he told me he was so impressed with our hymn. 800 hymns. That is neither here nor there. Okay, let us celebrate this moment in worship as maybe in the Baptist Center. Who would you have us pray for? What are you thankfully grateful maybe for as we open this year? Thank you, Steve. If you have something, please raise your hand. There we go.
My granddaughter Taylor is going through her second knee surgery now.
Oh.
And hopefully will recover.
When I heard about Bee this morning, I just thought, the first thought was, what a reunion on the other side with Bee and Peg, because they were best friends for decades and decades, since they had little kids. So it's a wonderful thought of that.
I just want to mention a prayer of thanks that was expressed on Zoom for Eileen's wonderful presentation of the time sequence of the church. People felt that was a great lesson, and they were very thankful for her leadership on that and for sharing that.
Combination pizza thing.
The sidekick thing.
Let's join in. Dear God, at the end of this year, we do lift up all those who have been so important to us over this last year, who have left this world. Those who were important parts, every one of them, of this congregation, and also those who we've known who have been important to us for many other reasons. Each year, as we remember this, think how what world are we moving into without them? And it's out of love that we ask that question and concern ourselves with the answer. Help us be to others everything that we can be, so that the world is continues to be rich and abundant. We thank you for bringing to this church and to our world more children who remind us of our purpose and give us the delight that only they can give. We look forward in this new year to celebrating these lives. We pray that you might help us put away any thoughts or regrets or concerns that hamstring us as we move into a new year. May we have whatever power and health and encouragement we need to do the work you have for us. May we turn a new page where that's necessary. May we find a new ministry, new concern, new way of loving others. We lift all these things and all these concerns, remembering that there are those who are not in church today, but who are either celebrating or maybe not, because they're in hospice care or hospital. us not forget those who need remembering. As we say together our corporate prayer, Eternal Spirit, Earth Maker, Pain Bearer, Life Giver, Source of all that is and that shall be, Father and Mother of us all, loving God in whom is heaven, may the hallowing of your name echo through the universe, the way of your justice be followed by the peoples of the world, our heavenly will be done by all created beings. Your commonwealth of peace and freedom sustain our hope and come on earth. With the bread we need for today, feed us. In the hurts we absorb from one another, forgive us. In times of temptation and test, strengthen us. From trial too great to endure, spare us. From the grip of all that is evil, free us. For you reign in the glory and power that is love, now and forever. Amen. I understand that we are at $358,000 in pledges, so we're past our goal. Congratulations. Your wonderful generosity as we begin a new year with a certain amount of hope. And now receive our morning's offering. Sunday, and if you were here last year, we hand out gold and silver stars with a little word on them that you can take and use as a guide for this next year. So those will be distributed next Sunday. So note that. Hopefully, those of you who were on Zoom and are close might come and pick up a star. Let us know if you're too far away, and we'll mail one. Okay. Let's remember that life is short, and we have not much time to gladden the hearts of those who traveled away with us. So be swift to love. Make haste to be kind, and may the peace of Christ, which passes all understanding, keep our hearts and minds today, tomorrow, through this whole new year. Our service is ended, but we invite you to linger for the
Okay. There's that. So be sure, like in a few minutes, go back and look at the trains for a
Oh,
minute
yeah.
before you.
I will,
Because
definitely.
that's really cool. In fact, I was thinking I might take my phone and take a little video of the trains,
Yeah.
and maybe we could make a little video to put on the website of the trains to share with people who weren't here.
Okay.
So I'll work on that a little bit. Just
Sounds
short
good.
video of it. Plus get some coffee. Come back and do the upload. I was thinking I might upload that Lord's Prayer that Michael did. So I thought that was really beautiful, like
Yeah.
with his statement before. So I'll upload that after we do the sermon.
So I'll just turn over all these. You'll upload, right?
I can do the uploading, yep. But it's not a rush, like if you want to look at the trains first. I don't know if he's got it set up yet. We'll see. But he's going to do it right after, so. I'm going to get a little more coffee.
being here. Mark, how are you?
I'm doing good.
Good.
Yeah, so I'm over in town.
I was out of town one morning for about 3 hours. The unfortunate part was I just got out of the shower and I haven't made my coffee yet. So everyone was when there and no shower and no power. This is not good. Did you? That ministry, that's the only way I can't sell it. Yeah, I spent a lot of time looking at the trees. And which one's coming back?
Yeah, so one came down to my dad's first.
No. You lost cable. I'll tell you what, my last cable was not good.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how we were.
So my problem. Yeah, that.
Everything's fine. Let's start one more time. I don't know why.
Yeah, sometimes if the moisture and dust contact with the remote uses with the network, so you need.
Yeah, well, I don't
But have you changed the battery or it's still this is holding? It's okay. Yeah, I think it was the dust or the moisture.
Like she's coming to my house this afternoon.
That's a little more space still. I thank you.
It's all right. All good. Okay. Happy New Year.
Thank you.
And it was a small court. Well, it's Linda Green. Was she? Well, Nancy. Well, I thought she.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I know you have to hunt him down. He forgets.
That's okay.
You're so conscientious. He needs that, Moses.
Thank you.
Yeah. We met each other 25 years ago. Well, your sister is in the art show. And Nancy's been to the art show. Oh, yeah. Tell you. Yeah, sure will. She'll be at my house. Oh, that's so much fun. You've got time. Oh my goodness! Oh, that's so nice! Oh, that's great. Don't have too much fun. Don't have too much fun. Oh, right.
go with your
Okay.
chance, because I don't know how long he's gonna
I'm
run
done.
them for, so.
Oh, it's already ready.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so just got that.
Putting it up on the box. Putting it up high. There'll be some poor kids. Well, that is so funny how they reuse it. We're exhausted. What are we doing? Next tree farm. Take a little wagon. The kids grew up to see that.
I see that. It's like, you know, I thought, airplanes, they take a lot of brooms. I'm thinking, I'm gonna give that some.
That is so beautiful, and the way you.
those days are gone.
Lots of people to appreciate.
That's right. I was, for January first, this is the one
I thought it was, yeah, I thought there'd be 10 people here.
coming from us.
Well, yeah, that's true. And finally the sun. Oh, the other day, Mike said something about sun, and I said, what is that? Yeah, I know, and then good. Yeah, we are. We're gonna go back in February for a couple months. Hopefully back in summer, or the nice weather. We'll see how that goes. Oh, yeah, July. Like 3 degrees all month. And it was quite chilly, windy, wind comes off the.
And I never heard that. I just assumed, well, it's not one of those special.
Oh, really? Yeah. Oh. Oh, I know. No, I'm really hoping by next Christmas that this is more like a food and just kind of.
I don't know that it'll ever really be like that, but I think people are already just.
Because, I mean, like, you know, we're at all the shops, the boosters, minis you can have and everything. We try to be careful. Like, if I go to Target or somewhere, I wear a mask and all that stuff. But, you know, I feel like I can't. Mike's sister in Redmond, outside Seattle, I don't think any more than we do. I mean, I think she's a superstar. And even if we wanna, I mean, we talked about going out to visit her, and she's not sure she would.
Yeah, when you read all of those words, that tied right into is that too close to be like, Scotland, we have over 800. I wanted to say, this is what I
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we do too, but you know, yeah. I mean, she, even her daughter and her daughter's boyfriend have to be on the porch. Man, I couldn't live like that.
No, I was even more, I had a hard time getting into the meter.
We figured out what it is. It's what goes over the stand that you put the casket on. Yeah, but you didn't, that, they were. I couldn't remember it being. Yeah.
do it live.
Yeah,
We
me
got a
too.
good workaround for it, but you may as well, you can turn the light on here if you want. Just turn that light on. Yeah, it'd be good to get that fixed because.
Yeah, so
we have
which
to-
was that?
It was choir hymn,
Choir and hymn. So
It
choir and
was-
hymns. Right.
that one, and just see it just,
Yeah, so
it's just
I
the
know what
frames were
happened.
not set right.
So it's just like
That one
this should
needs
be over.
resizing.
Resizing.
No, I think it's the big one needs to be resized.
Okay, the big
So
one,
that
right?
it's- yeah, the front one just needs to be made smaller, and then yes, exactly, just set up like the other ones, where it's just a little bit, yeah, and then a little bigger, and maybe the other one needs to be made a little smaller. Now it's something anyway. They need to be lined up like the other ones,
Yeah.
and then put together. I don't know how those work. Kind of like that. Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah, I figure. I mean, I've done this before too, but I didn't want to try and do it in the middle of everything.
yeah. I also wanted to play around with it, but not in live.
Exactly. Yeah, it's all right. We figured out a workaround.
Okay.
Usually Kevin let me have a minute. Yep. Good. And then do you have to save that, or does that?
No, it
just
will
automatically-
automatically.
All right, good. So now if we do a different one and then we go back to that, okay, that's pulpit and then, great.
Yeah, it just saves
Okay, very good.
automatically.
Yeah, thanks for doing that.
Yeah. Any other things that were
Nope.
playing around with this?
No, it's good. I mean, you just, like you said, we want to do a little bit more fine tuning on the,
Yeah,
on the
this
camera
as well.
stuff.
Yeah, and the camera as well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll try to make all this default so that it never changes,
Yeah. And then
and they save it as a preset like on OBS as
Uh-huh.
well. We can have like multiple things here
Yeah.
running in the
Yeah,
background.
yeah.
And I'm in this.
No, we're good. Oh, yeah, you can just end that for everybody, and then yep. I'll take care
Okay.
of all that. It won't take me long. I'll just
Oh, it's
upload this.
recycle papers and.
Yeah, I'll do it. All right.
Do you have a logo here?
What?
A logo, church logo.
Yeah, we have a logo. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, maybe before you go, just put it on the desktop
Okay, I don't know if they have it on this computer. I'll make sure.
or just email me
I'll email you the logo because
on the tech. Maybe tech is
Yeah,
logged in
yeah.
there,
I'll
right?
send you to tech. I'll send
Yeah.
it to the tech at Gmail.
Yeah, I'm also logged in there, so
Okay,
all good.
I will send it to you.
Okay,
I'll do that.
have a
All
nice
right.
day
Yes, you too.
and nice trip to
Phoenix.
Phoenix, yeah. So you're going next week, right?
Yes, I leave on Saturday and
Yeah, okay.
be gone.
I'll be in
Most of
contact
the
if
week.
there's anything.
Yeah, I may log in on Zoom if I'm around.
Okay, no worries. I'll take care of it
Oh, I know.
with Judy.
Judy will be here for sure, and I might have somebody else. I'm not sure.
It's okay
I figure it's in some ways simpler with two people if they know what they're doing.
if they know what they're doing. Yeah.
And Judy, I think, knows the slides pretty well. As long as you get this stuff figured out and
Yeah.
help her with it.
Sure. Yeah. Maybe we'll just tell her to use this for next
Yeah,
week.
yeah, sure.
Otherwise, well, if she can, yeah, she can read and just
Yeah.
it's the same buttons, just color different.
No, this is fine, and she'll be interested in seeing that.
Yeah, I'll try to come again sometime this week to
Yeah.
fix this. I mean
Okay.
the programmings.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you. Have a good week. Hmm. Mm-mm.
Okay, coming.
I don't know exactly what this is, but I noticed here on the recordings
Yeah.
today,
Mhm.
the full service recordings, normally we always have an MP4 and an MKV. And today, I only see an MKV. So I'm wondering why we
Okay, just
do not have an MP4. I know that the native
the root.
the default thing is well, let me see if I can find it here. See, for some reason we only got the MKV today.
Okay.
And we should, when it records, it should, and I think Jason had to do something special to make it do an MP4.
Okay, so another question. So did you use this to on the recording or that to on the recording?
I believe I used this. I believe I did it from here. I just clicked it.
You sure?
I'm pretty
Okay.
sure.
Right.
But I'm not 100% sure, but that's something we should try and figure out before next week. An
I'll fix it
MKV
up.
I can use. It is possible to use that, but we want it.
Yeah, MP4 just MP4 all over that. Yeah. Okay, so this week you can just export in MP4 from the QuickTime, and then what I'll do is that.
Well, it works as an M. I
Yeah,
think
it
I can
should
just
work.
edit this. I mean, I can just use the MKV.
Yeah, see if you can trim with VLC.
No, I should be able to. But that's just something that we need to look at. VLC. Yeah, I may
Yeah.
need to export it.
Just try with the QuickTime. Does it open?
Yeah,
Should
it didn't
right?
open in QuickTime, so let me
Oh, it
try
didn't?
again. No, it opened in VLC. Let's try opening it in QuickTime. Let me go to QuickTime.
Just right click and open with the.
Yeah, I know. I'm just going to find QuickTime here. Here you go. Yeah. Yep. Sorry about that. Is it this one? Yes.
Shouldn't.
Cannot be opened.
Okay, just export it to MP4 from VLC for now.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay,
File
fine.
and save
So,
as.
wait, did it open? No, it didn't.
That is VLC.
Okay, so let's go here. So
Export or convert. Just go on to convert.
convert stream.
Yeah.
All right.
And just this okay done and save
Choose-
as a file. Open media. Just drag it there. Open it. Anyway.
Well, we're already in it.
Yeah. Okay. This the one.
We're in it.
Yeah, it will ask you again to upload. Select.
Yeah.
Just click that. No, you have to choose. Right.
Okay, so that one.
Yeah. And save
Oh,
as
here.
Save as file. It's fine.
Choose an output.
It will export. Yeah, after that.
Alright.
Is it one touch?
Yeah. Well, it's actually a folder within there, but that's fine for now.
You can click on the arrow. The small arrow.
Yeah. I know. Worship recordings, full service recordings. Okay, and save it as one.
Yeah, I'm sure it's just a small setting.
I'm sure it is.
The export settings format
20,
on OBS.
Yeah. And there's that.
2023. Now I have to get used to writing 2023.
But now where do I do the format? Is it going to ask
Just
me?
save, and it will it's a save at the bottom. Right, go down. Yeah. Click, and it will load. Click save. It will.
No, it didn't. It just saved it as another MKV.
Wait.
Yeah. See, I have to be able to set the format somewhere.
No, it's converting, I suppose.
No,
Is it?
no, it doesn't do that. No, it just saved it as the same thing. So we didn't convert. We need to convert. I'll try it again.
Well, I usually use this in VLC. It like loads the entire.
We never chose to make it an MP4. We never had that selection.
We had it. Just go again. I'll show you. It was like H.264 MP4 version.
All right. So, yes, sir.
I didn't want to interrupt.
No, I'm
It's
sorry.
I just wanted to wish you Happy New Year.
Oh,
Oh,
thank you.
thank you.
Happy New Year to you too.
And thank you for all your work back here, keeping everything together, trying to make it all work.
It's always fun.
Yeah, it's always getting better though. That's the best part.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
We're working on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you for everything you do. And I love, as I told you, I think I just love following you on Facebook and all the.
All my crazy stuff.
I just loved your Nordic Advent. I mean, that was like, it was just great because
Here's another
I
way.
came from the Midwest, so,
Here's another way of looking at things.
it just, yes. Oh, yes. Next year I want to have you up there at Children's Time with the Nordic calendar. That would be so
We
cute.
can talk about Rom Jewel.
Yeah, oh, that was so great. I never knew about that. All right, so
Take care.
So VLC.
So just go to the video and press Shift and R key. On this, click on the video, Shift and R.
Okay.
Anything happens?
No.
Command and R.
Okay.
No, this is source, right? No.
No.
You can also.
Well, I
use the
saw it on the
Shift
thing here. I
and
know
R.
there's one.
Video,
Okay.
probably
Let's
video.
just go up here. Let's do maybe
There should be trim here as well.
file, convert.
We'll try videos. If we have trimming.
There should be a thing. Let's see.
I
Media
remember
player,
using that. How do I
preference,
trim? We'll see in Mac. Go over to the view.
view. Playlist table columns.
So
that's
then
not
go
doing it.
to advanced controls.
That's not under view. Is it under edit? It's under preferences maybe.
Go over to the view on the main menu VLC window. Select the advanced control feature.
I don't see that on here.
No.
Do you see it
okay.
on here?
No.
Playback. Well, I think it's going to be advanced open file. Let's see.
Option. There is Alt and okay. Try Alt. That was for Windows, I think. Alt and.
There is no alt. Option?
Options, yeah.
Option what?
R. No.
No.
Still no.
Mm-mm. No.
That's something new.
Video. I can probably read about this and figure it out later. Let's see. Random, previous, repeat all, quit after playback. And I've got other programs that probably would work.
Is there any iMovies there? And just drag it there.
I'm just going to look here again. Let
See,
me look
it's
at this.
MP4 here.
Oh, okay. So it says choose a profile.
Yeah,
Video.
so it's MP4.
Okay. It says that.
Click on it again. Is there any other MP4?
Well, let's go back to the file. Let's go back to here and make sure it didn't do it. No, it didn't do it. So let's try this again. Let me try this again. Okay, open media. So I'm going to go to full service recordings. I'll just try this again. 1223. So we'll open that. And then I'm going to say customize. Okay.
Video codec, just on that. MP H.264, right? Let's go on that H.264 codec.
Which one?
H.264.
Okay. And do.
No, that's H.264 is right. It's okay, right? So
Okay, leave
that's
that
okay.
alone.
And apply. It should be.
Apply.
It should be okay.
Okay. So it should be that. Choose
Okay.
destination. Browse. And we'll just keep it there. Full service recordings. I'm just going to put the date just so we can see it real easily.
Yeah.
I can always change that. I'll just do it right at. Oh, actually, no. So what is that M4V? Is that?
Just try opening that in QuickTime.
Okay, I will. I'll
It-
do that, but then I will
sometime.
try opening that in QuickTime. Let's go back to QuickTime. Okay, and that is for.
I think I can see the icon.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it did let me open that one.
M4V. Yeah.
M4V, it's a little different, but
This
now
is-
let's see if I can trim that. Yes. Okay.
But I'll set that up.
But yeah, find out what it was, and like I said, I know Jason knew how to do that at one time. If you get stuck on it, we can contact you can contact Jason and ask him.
1 second.
But I'm sure
Can I
you'll be
just
able
see
to
one
do
thing?
it.
Yeah, it's easy. Just the right thing.
It has to do with the recording.
Output. Recording. So recording MP4 here. It should be MP4, right?
Uh-huh. Yep.
Warning, recordings can be pushed. Okay, is the recording still on here?
You might need to
Yeah,